እንዴት ነህ ዶክ? ይሰማል? እንዴት ነው ዶክተር ታዲዮስ? ይሰማል ዶክ? ከኔ ድምጽ አይሰማም?
ይሰማል። እንዴት ነህ?
ቴንክ ዩ። እንዴት ነህ? ሰላም ነው?
እግዚአብሔር ይመስገን። እንዴት አደርክ?
አለን። አይ ቲንክ የዚህኛው ራውንድ ሰው ብዙም አይደለም፣ ብዙም ኦንላይን አልገቡም። ሜቢ አንድ ሁለት ደቂቃ እንጠብቃቸውና ካልሆነ ብሪፍሊ ያለውን ነገር ላንተ አብራራና እንትን ጨርሳለን።
እሺ፣ መልካም። እሺ።
ዌልካም።
ሰላም ነው?
እንዴት ነው? ሰላም ነው።
እንዴት ነህ ዶክ? ሰላም ነው?
አለን። ሰላም ነው
አለን ይመስገነው። አለው መጥቻለሁ።
እንኳን በሰላም መጣ።
ታንክ ዩ ሰር።
ኦልሞስት እንጀምራለን። አይ ቲንክ የሚመጡትም ጆይን ስለሚያደርጉን
እሺ፣
ጊዜያችንም ሴቭ ለማድረግ እንጀምራለን።
እሺ።
የያዝኳቸው አጀንዳዎች የመጀመሪያው ሰልፍ ኢንትሮዳክሽን ነው። ከዛን አንድ ፕሬዘንቴሽን ነገር ይኖረኛል። ስለ ትሬኒንጉ የሚያብራራ አጠር ያለች ትሬኒንግ አለኝ። ስለሱ ፕሬዘንቴሽኑን እቀጥላለሁ። ከዛን ኩዌስችን ኤንድ አንሰር ሴሽን ይኖረናል። አይ ቲንክ ሞር ኦር ሌስ ሁላችንም እንተዋወቃለን፣ ግን እንደው ጀስት ለፎርማሊቲ ያህል እኔ ወርቅነህ እሸቱ ነው የምባለው። በዚህ በኢለርኒንግ ላይ ኮኦርዲኔተር ነኝ። አሁንም እንደምታውቁት ደግሞ ከአጭር ጊዜ ወዲህ የላይብረሪ ዳይሬክተር ሆኛለሁ። ማስተር ክላስ ትሬኒም ሰርቲፋይድ ትሬኒ ነኝ። ኦልሞስት እዚህ ያሉትን ስታፎች በሙላ እኔ ነኝ ትሬኒንጉ ስሰጣቸው የነበርኩት። በአጭሩ ይህን ነው የሚመስለው። ኮሌጅ ኦፍ ሊደርሺፕ ኤንድ ገቨርናንስ ማስተምራለሁ፣ ዲፓርትመንት ኦፍ ፖሊሲ። ይህን ነው የሚመስለው በአጭሩ። እስቲ ደግሞ ለእናንተ እድሉን ልስጥ፣ ለዶክተር ታዲዮስ።
ዶክ እሺ፣ ታንክ ዩ። ምናልባት ዶክተር ኢማኑኤል ነው መሰለኝ ጆይን ማድረግ ፈልጋለሁ አልቻልኩም እያለ ቴክስት እያደረገ ነው መሰለኝ። ዶክ እሱን ቼክ አድርገው። እኔ ታዲዮስ ሜንታ እባላለሁ። እዚህ አሁን ላይ በአስተዳደርና ልማት ምክትል ፕሬዚደንት ሆኜ እየሰራሁ እገኛለሁ። በኮሌጅ ኦፍ ፋይናንስ እንደ ማኔጅመንት ደግሞ የኔ ኮሌጅ በኮሌጅ ኦፍ ፋይናንስ እንደ ማኔጅመንት ነው ያለው። በአሲስታንት ፕሮፌሰርነት ሌቭል ላይ ነው ያለሁት። አመሰግናለሁ።
እሺ፣ በጣም እናመሰግናለን። አንዳንዶቻችሁም ብዙም ስለማላውቅ ስፔሻሊ ታይትል አልጠቀምም፣ ይቅርታ ይደረግልኝ። ዴጌላ
አመሰግናለሁ ዶክተር ወርቅነህ። ደገላ እባላለሁ። ይሰማል ድምጼ?
ይሰማል።
አዎ፣ ደገላ እባላለሁ። በፋይናንስ እና ልማት ምጣኔ ሀብት ኮሌጅ ላይ ነው ያለሁት። ዴቨሎፕመንት ኢኮኖሚክስ ላይ አስተምራለሁ። እንግዲህ ያው ብዙ አንታወቅም። ልክ ነው። በደንብ በስምና በአካል በደንብ አንታወቅም ይመስለኛል። ከዶክተር ወርቅነህ ብዙ አላወራንም ከዚህ በፊት። እኔም ቅርብ ጊዜ ጆይን ስላደረግን 3 ዓመት ሊሆነኝ ነው። አሁን ግቢው የሰፋ ነው ማለት ነው።
ኦኬ፣ በጣም እናመሰግናለን። እንኳን ማስተር ክላስ ትሬኒንግን ጆይን አደረክ። በዚህ በማስተር ክላስ ትሬኒንግ ኦንላይን ቲቺንግ ፔዳጎጂ እናወራለን። አይ ቲንክ ይጠቅመሃል ብዬ አስባለሁ። ሶ ተፈራ ይሰማል።
እሺ፣ ዶክተር ተፈራ እባላለሁ። በኢኮኖሚክስ ትምህርት ክፍል የዲቨሎፕመንት ኢኮኖሚክስ አስተማሪ ነኝ። አመሰግናለሁ።
በጣም እናመሰግናለን። ኤርካኖ
እንደምን አደራችሁ? ኤርኬኖ ዮሐንስ እባላለሁ ከኮሌጅ ኦፍ አርባን ኢንጂነሪንግ ኤንድ ዲቨሎፕመንት የአርባን ኢንጂነሪንግ አስተማሪ ነኝ። ስትራክቸራል መሐንዲስ እና ስትራክቸራል ኮርሶችን ነው ማስተምረው። ይሄ ነው። አመሰግናለሁ።
በጣም እናመሰግናለን። የሁለተኛው አጀንዳው አንድ ፕሬዘንቴሽን አለችኝ። እሷን ፕሬዘንት አደርግላችኋለሁ። ሶ ያንን ለማድረግ ስክሪኔን ሼር አደርጋለሁ። ኦኬ፣ ስክሪን ይታያችኋል?
ይታያል።
ኦኬ፣ አመሰግናለሁ። ይሄ ትሬኒንግ እንደምታውቁት ማስተር ክላስ ፋውንዴሽን ፎር ኤክሰለንስ ኢን ቲቺንግ ኦንላይን ይባላል። እኔም ይህንን ትሬኒንግ ፋሲሊቴት እያደረግኩት ነው ያለሁት። በዚህ ፕሬዘንቴሽንስ ስለነዚህ አጀንዳዎች አወራለሁ። ቤዚክ ኢንፎርሜሽንስ፣ ኦብጀክቲቭ፣ ኮምፒውተር ሪኳርመንት፣ ኮንቴንት ኦፍ ዘ ትሬኒንግ፣ ግሬዲንግ፣ አሳይንመንት ሰሚሽን ፕላትፎርምስ፣ ኮሚኒኬሽን፣ ጀነራል ቲፕስ፣ important links, important button in the pages, and explanation for the first week module. So I'm going to talk about these agendas. Let's start from what ISHE initiative is. As you know, ISHE is actually an abbreviation for e-learning for strengthening higher education, and this initiative is owned by Ministry of Education, but there are different stakeholders that engage in the implementation of this initiative. Like, for example, we can take Arizona State University as one stakeholder. There are also Mastercard Foundation is also another stakeholder that's engaged in the implementation of this initiative, and there are also Shaya Shone PLC. This is also one private institution or PLC that engage in the implementation of this initiative, and there are also 50 public universities that engage in the implementation of this initiative. They are the beneficiary of this initiative, and the objective of this initiative is to promote the relevance, the quality, and the access of higher education in Ethiopian context. We know that we have many public institutions or government universities or higher education institutions, but still the accessibility, the quality, and the relevancy of higher education is not that much in Ethiopian context. And this initiative aimed to promote these things, or to enhance the relevance, the quality, and the access of higher education. And the Masterclass Foundation for Excellence in Teaching Online is one of the intervention under this initiative. Of course, this initiative has 5 major goals. One of those goals is like building the capacity of the university community, including both university teacher and the university students. And actually, they designed this foundation for excellence in teaching online to build the capacity of university teachers to develop the skill to design, to deliver, as well as to design, to develop, and to deliver online courses. There are also other interventions for the students, which we call it student success youth courses, and these things help students to learn some basic skill that help them to take courses online. So there is an intervention from this initiative to build the capacity or professional capacity of university community, both university student as well as university instructor. Even there is also another intervention for administrative staff, especially for registrar staff on system building or system administration or system management. So this is one of the pillar or one of the objective of this initiative, and this training is it is a part of this initiative. So let's talk briefly about this training, Foundation for Excellence in Teaching Online. This is a 2-week fully online workshop and designed to facilitate knowledge sharing of strategy for designing and teaching online courses. As you know, this training is somehow unique because it is fully online workshops. There is not that much intervention from us, the facilitator, as well as even from Arizona State University, the owner of this training, because they designed this training for somehow like for the community that know about teaching pedagogy and the teaching methodology already. So they believe that they have basic information, therefore there is no need to have that much intervention. So most of the thing will be done by us, by the trainees themselves. So there is not that much intervention. It is fully online workshop, and the duration is almost for 2 weeks. The purpose of this training is to facilitate knowledge sharing of strategy for designing and teaching online, because we are going to teach courses or trainings online. So we need to know how to facilitate that thing, how we design course or content to teach online, how we can teach that online. So the objective of this training is to facilitate these things, or to learn how to design and teach online courses. And actually it will be delivered in OpenEDX learning management system, and the participant will complete the activity as a student using the technology and the pedagogy designed to enhance online learning. As you see here, there are two things here. One is OpenEDX learning management system. This training is designed in OpenEDX learning management system. Most of the time we believe like if we deliver courses online, like if we share material, training, course content material, even everything's on like Telegram and things like that, or other just simple communication platform, we believe we deliver courses online. That is not the fact that we call online teaching or live online teaching or e-learning. E-learning means we need to build, we need to design, we need to develop, as well as we need to deliver courses or program in learning management system. Therefore, we need to have very established learning management system. According to the direction from the Ministry of Education, we need to use OpenEDX learning management. There are different learning management systems globally, but Ministry of Education prefers to use OpenEDX learning management system. There is some justification for that, for why they select OpenEDX learning management system. Therefore, we need to have even the skill to do things in OpenEDX learning management system. And this training help us to get some kind of prerequisite or basic information or basic skills on how we do things in OpenEDX learning management system, as well as it also help us to have some skill to use technology and pedagogy that help us to deliver courses and the program online. And the time, from the time perspective, the duration of this workshop or this training is for 2 weeks. That means for 40 days. And the minimum requirement, the minimum time that we need to assign for this training is like 8 hours per week. That means it requires like 25. Of course, it is like 25 hours. So if it is like 8 hours per week, that means like 7 days in a week. Therefore, we need to assign at least 1 hour per 1 day for this training to successfully complete this training. But this thing depends on our exposure to online learning and things like that. This is the average hours that we need to assign to successfully complete this training is 8 hours per week. But this is subjective. It is depend on person to person, but the minimum or the average is 8 hours. The other characteristics of this training is we have also certificate of completion, but in order to get that certificate of completion, you need to score 80 or more than 80. The minimum, the threshold is 80. Therefore, we have a certificate of completion. For example, this is my certificate of completion, and this certificate of completion is issued by Arizona State University, and it's also internationally recognized. And if we have this certificate of completion, of course, we can teach international international, we can teach or we can deliver courses or training, in international universities, not only in domestic university. Even it give us the key, or it give us the opportunity to teach courses or trainings in other university, or in the foreign universities, or because it is internationally accepted. And in addition to that, if you see here, it has QR codes. By scanning these QR codes, we can like check whether this certificate is true or not. Therefore, that's why I call it is internationally certified. It is recognized by Arizona State University, issued by Arizona State University, recognized by Ministry of Education. But in order to get this certificate of completion, there is a criteria. We need to score 80 or more than 80%. The other objective of this training is two. One is experience and interpret online learning from the student perspective. The second one is design alignment and standard-driven content for online course instruction. So at this stage, we are going to experience what online learning look like from the student perspective. That is one of the objectives of this training. You don't have that much privileges in OpenEDX learning management system, but you can experience what this OpenEDX learning management system look like, and even you can experience or you can see the challenges, the experience that you can get from online learnings from this training. Therefore, you are going to experience what online learning look like. Maybe many of us, including me, for example, I believe, or initially I thought like online learning is like it affects the quality of education, and many people believe like that, but it is not like that. It's not true. And so we are going to experience what this online learning look like from the student perspective at these stages. But in the next stage, after we complete this training, we are going to design, develop, and deliver online courses. Even there is another intervention, what we call it like building courses in OpenEDX learning management system. And that things help you to learn some technical things that help you to do things in OpenEDX learning management system. And those things help us to act as a teacher. Now, as we are acting as a student, but in the future, after this training, we are going to experience what online learning or online teaching look like from the student perspective. And then also the other objective is to design alignment and standard-driven content for online course instruction. That's also another objective. In terms of computer requirement, this training needs a computer because it is fully online workshop. Especially not only computer, you need to have a web browser, like for example, Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Mozilla are very important. You need to have at least this internet browser, but this training work very well with Microsoft Edge. In case if you cannot log in into that training website, you better use Microsoft Edge, or I recommend you to use Microsoft Edge. This one is better. I will share you this PowerPoint after this presentation. Then you can access this browser from here by clicking on these links. And the other requirement is Adobe Acrobat Reader. Maybe if you don't have that things on your computer, you better add that things. Webcam, microphone, headset, speaker, Microsoft Office. These are also some of the requirements that you need to have in advance in order to successfully complete this training. Content of the training, we are going to see like 6 modules, but very simple modules. It's just a module, but we can call it chapter. It's not that much big, so we can call it a chapter. Chapter 1 is, or chapter 0 is start coursework. Here we are going to see, the content of the training, what the training look like. We are going to introduce to each others, like there is Padlet self-introduction. You are going to tell us about your name, your position, your education background, your exposure on online learning and things like that. And there is also academic integrity agreement. So there are some basic things that we need to agree on then we'll see those things here. And module 1 is online student success. Here we are going to see how we can support our online students, like how we can help them to succeed in online classes, or how we can create or some kind of feeling among our students to experience a good things in online class or in online session. So we are going to see about that things in module 1. In module 2, we are going to see course content and course quality and how we develop, like, for example, quality content. That is very important. There is a way that we check whether the content that we develop for online class is quality or not. So we are going to see even that things in module 2. In module 3, we are going to see effective student interactions. That is also very important. We know that in face-to-face class, student interaction is not a big deal. It depends on, we have many strategies that help us to promote effective student interaction for face-to-face classes or in the inline classes or in-person classes. But for online classes, that thing is a big challenge because our students are living in different places. They are not in the class physically. They are also living in different cities, and creating some kind of mechanism that help them to work together, engage together online is another thing, or it is really somehow it's challenging. Therefore, there are some strategies that help us to do so. So we are going to deal about that things in module 3, effective student interaction, how we promote that things. And module 4 is course design and content development. So it's related to module 2. This one is related to how we develop quality courses. Here we are going to practice it. We are going to practice how we design, and how we develop online course content in module 4. That's also another very big deal. And module 5 is instructor presence and action plan. The same is module 3. Here, in module 3, we deal about how we promote effective student interactions, student-to-student communication. Here, in module 5, we are going to see how we create instructor presence in online classes. That's also another big challenge because an instructor is not physically in the class, and the students are not also physically in the class, but there is some strategy that we can use. There are a lot of technology that we have that promote instructor presence. So we are going to deal about those strategies and those technologies that help us to promote instructor presence in online classes. So this is all about these courses or these trainings content. And so they are not that, even if you say like module 0, module 5, look like many, but they are not that much. You can easily manage it. And even the previous trainees, completed this training even 2 or 3 days. And so that's not a big deal. Grading, as I told you, in order to get certificate, you need to score 80 or more than 80. And there are some assignments. There are some, by the way, I have also offline material. I have PPTs or PowerPoint that you can read when you are not online, or when you are in home, or if you don't have internet access, things like that. You can download that PowerPoint and then you can read it. But to submit your grade, you need to do everything on system. As I told you, there are different individuals that facilitate this training. One is me from here. There is also another person that controls the situation from Ministry of Education. His name is called, the focal person from Ministry of Education is Dr. Mulene. And there are also another facilitator from Arizona State University, like Professor Kim, Elizabeth, or those things. So we need to do things on the system, especially grade submission must be done on the system. And there are 5 assessments or graded activities in week 1, and there are also another 5 graded activity in week 2. In module 0, there are 2 graded activities. In module 1, we have 1. In module 2, we have 2 graded activities, and these are actually week 1. Module 0, module 1, and module 2 are week 1 module, and module 3, module 4, and module 5 are week 2 module. But as I told you, we don't need to wait for the end time. You can even complete this training, or you can access all the content of the training starting from today. Therefore, you can complete this training even by 2 or 3 days. You don't need to wait for that much time, and that's also another thing. But if you don't have time like this, if you are busy, you can you need to complete it within that 2 weeks. You have 40 days for that if you cannot do it within a short period of a time. Submitting assignment, as I told you, there is a place on the system, on the website, training website, that help you to submit your assignment. You cannot submit your assignment by email, by Telegram, or by other communication mechanism we have. You need to submit your assignment on the place that is labeled in OpenEDX Learning Management System on the training website. That means. Another very basic information that I want to share with you is like the deadline. For example, syllabus queues, you need to complete it by November 27, like today is November 25, things like that. Then you need to do it by 2 days. I have shared you the syllabus. If you want, I will resend it. And therefore, you need to read that syllabus, that is course outline. And then it's very simple things. And then you need to do it before 27. And the other one is due date for assignment in module 0 to module 2, that is week 1 module, December 2. By December 2, you need to complete week 1 assignment, week 1 assignment next week by today. And a due date for assignment in module 3 to module 5, that is week 2 modules, December 9. By December 9, you need to complete this training, all of the content of this training. But as I told you, you can even complete all the content within 2 or 3 days. You don't need to wait. People do like that. The previous trainees do like that. Therefore, I highly recommend you to do so. And the communication tools, as I told you, we have community forum. This is one of the technology that we get in this OpenEDX learning management system, and it helps us to promote the student-to-student interaction. It is a kind of public communication platform for our trainees, for this cohort or for these groups trainees, so that you can write something over there and post it and all of us can see it. So you can use that one as a communication platform. You can even use my email. I have this email and this email. This is an institutional email, this is my individual email. You can write me and I can respond to you. This is also another communication tools we have. Live online session we have once in a week. So within these 2 weeks, we have two times. So the first one is November 25, that is today. We are going to deal about these things. And November 2, next week, by this time, challenge from week 1, progress report of week 1, overview of week 2 modules, notice about due dates and the technical problem and the next steps after we complete this training. What is the next things? We'll deal about that things in December 2, next week. The other one is, even we have another live session on December 9. That is the end of this week, December 9. But that one is optional. Most of the times, we'll not do that one. So because this is just, that is December 9 is the end of this training, and therefore, more probably we don't have any ideas or agendas to talk on. And the other one is common Telegram channels. Another for the fourth communication tools we can use is common Telegram channels. We have that thing, and most of you already a member of this group, and I like that part. And therefore, most of real-time information will be shared on that things, on that communication platform, that is Telegram. Therefore, I recommend you to join us. I think you are with me, right? Is it visible? አንዳንዴ ብዙ አውርቼ ሰዎች ከኔ እንትን ሜቢ ኮኔክሽን ኦር ሰምቲንግ የሚቋረጥበት ሁኔታ ነበረና ካላችሁ አላችሁ ኦኬ ሌትስ ኮንቲኒው
Yeah, continue.
Okay, so the other or the fourth communication platform we have is Telegram. So even we can use that things to have to get, especially you need to join our common Telegram groups, especially to get real-time information. That is very basic thing and very important. And the other one is live office hours. If you want, by the way, you can even, if you have some technical problem, like for example, if you cannot log in, or if like whatever problem it is, if you have even difficulty on how to submit assignment and things like that, even we can arrange live office hour. We can talk live like this, and then we can share our screen like this, and then I can see for what is the problem with you, so I can help you with that as well. So live office hour Monday from this to this, it says maybe I will change to the afternoon time, and Wednesday also from this one is fine in the morning time. So we can arrange such type of things, and then we can talk. And if you want, you can use my phone. This is my phone number. You can call me from 8 a.m. in the morning to 2 p.m. in the evening. I am available during that time, so that we can talk anytime any things you have on or even on phone. And the general tips to successfully complete this training: before you attempt to answer each question, make sure to read the instruction carefully. That is very important. By the way, because we have like teaching experience on one way or another, therefore, the content of this training is not that much difficult. It is very simple. So what is important is you need to read the instruction. For example, like it says, introduce yourself. When you introduce yourself, you need to include all basic information that must be addressed or must be included in that thing. So all those basic informations are already listed in the instruction parts. Therefore, you need to read the instruction carefully, and then you need to respond or introduce yourself accordingly. Like for example, we will see that things as well. Therefore, reading the instruction is very important, or very basic things. But the content is very, very simple. And the other one is check the course daily. You don't need to wait for the last minute. Most of the time it's better to do it early. So it's better to check the course daily. Read and respond to the workshop email message as needed. Sometimes you may get some alerts and some message from Arizona State University team, and therefore if they need some information or some basic information or whatever they request, you need to respond to them. That's also another thing. And sometimes they give you just alert, you need to do this thing and things like that. Therefore you need to like follow that things and do accordingly. And the fourth one is monitor, track, and follow the assignment due date. As I told you, the assignment content is not that much new for us, unless it's like technology or online technology, online strategy, how we promote student-to-student interaction, how we ensure instructor present. Unless those things, many of them we know them already. Therefore the content is not that much difficult or that much new for us. We are familiar with that. Therefore, you need to look at the due dates. That is very important. Due date is very important. Therefore, look out for that due dates. And the other one is communicate regularly with your instructor and a colleague. If you have any type of problem, any type of challenge, any type of technical, whatever, if there is some unclear things, you don't need to wait with that. You have to ask your facilitator, you have to ask your colleague, you need to post it on Telegram. By the way, another thing that I would like to remind you is, like for example, on Telegram, like if someone asks something, you don't need to wait for facilitator to respond for him. Rather, you need to like interact. That is, we know that like active learning in the teaching, or we know that active engagement in the class and things like that. On online class, like active engagement in WhatsApp, if we have common WhatsApp group, active engagement in Telegram, if we have common Telegram group, active engagement in community forum, active engagement in like student to student. There are some activities that help, that is designed in this training to promote your engagement, to encourage for you to communicate to each other. Therefore, that is very important. And if someone asks some things on Telegram, I recommend you to respond. So far, like second group, like this one is I think the 9th group in this university. Second group, or the second cohort of the masterclass trainees, they are like very active communicator, because during that times, like engagement from the trainee is too high. That's why I call them even active communicator and things like that. So I just recommend you to engage, to communicate with each other. And the last one is engage in class discussion, ask a question, contribute to online activity to enhance your understanding of the subject matter. So this is related to the previous things. Links for important video recorders. By the way, we have different video recorders. Like for example, Ishi Masterclass Navigation video. If you have some kind of difficulty on how to start this training, like for example, how to register, how to things like that, starting things, or how to start this training, I recommend you to watch this video. It's very simple, and it guide you on how to start, how to register for masterclass trainees. And the other one is how to log in into your institutional email. Most of the time, we are using our personal email, but it's new. Most of us, commonly we are not using this one, institutional email. That's why we have some kind of difficulties. Our trainees ask how to log into my WhatsApp, what is institutional email and things like that. And if you have that difficulty as well, you can just watch these videos and you can easily understand how it is a very shortcut. It is a shortcut, and also like if you ask the ITC staff, they may say like write Microsoft 365 and then things like that. But this one is very shortcut. Just you write outlook.com, then click on login, and then insert your institutional and the password. Then you can directly go to your inbox. But the other one is not that much comfortable, or it is too long. Number 3, how to activate your registration and take the 2 prerequisite courses. This one is recorded by me. This one is recorded by the community from Arizona State University. They are talking about the same things, but this one is a little bit long. Therefore, it is about how to register, how to start for registration. The 4th one is how to start masterclass training. Still, just registration is done. Then how to start masterclass training is also another thing. So if you want to learn how to start so the first thing is we have already registered you, but you need to activate your registration. That's what we call it, activate your registration. First of all, you need to say like, I am there, I am ready to take the training. That means you need to activate your registration. Once you say I am ready to activate you to take the training, then you need to start taking the training. That's also another thing. Therefore, if you want to know how to start masterclass training, click here. How to check your grade and the staff comment, that's also another thing. Like there is some graded activities and the staff, there is grade, and then you will also get a comment from the staff if you make some kind of mistake. Even if you did it very well, there is some kind of encouraging statements. So if you see that things, you can click here and learn how to see that things. This video guide you to do so. Lesson learned and sample action plan, that is also here. At the end of this training, you need to develop action plan, and then maybe at that time it is better if you watch these videos. To watch a video lecture, by the way, I have also a video lecture for the course content that you are going to see in first week, and then you can even click this and watch that things. Now let's share you important button in the pages in the course share. In order to start this training, the first task you need to do is you need to get this link. It is this link. This link is a training link or a training website. So in order to start that, this is our Telegram group. By the way, it is just a screenshot of our Telegram group. Then you need to just click here. It says there is some statement which says pinned messages. So click on that pinned message. And when you click on that pinned message, it will take you, or it will lead you to these places. It say like syllabus, syllabus for excellence in teaching online. So this is syllabus. Below that, training links. These links. Just click these links. So this is a starting point. Click this pinned message, the first task, because you cannot see these things. Now, if you see your Telegram, you cannot directly see this one. In order to see these links, click on this one first. Click here, then it will take you to these places. And then click on these links. The next step is this page will come. On this page, if you come to this page for the first time, you need to click on register. That means you need to show, or you need to like give your permission to take this training, or you need to show yourself, your presence. You need to show your presence and things like that. So you need to activate your registration simply. So if it is first time, click on register. But if you have already registered, the next time you don't need to, of course, this link is always important. Whenever you need to start doing things on the website or on the training, you need to start from this page. But here, once you have registered, you don't need to click on register again. But if you go, it doesn't matter, of course, but you can go for login the next time. For the second time, you start login, right? But even you can go with register. That is, you can go through that as well. But if once you have registered, you need to use login, or it is better if you use login. It doesn't matter whether you use it register or login. But for the first time, you need to register. That is for the first. If you see this page for the first time, unless you register, you can't log in. But once you register, you can register it again, and you can access the training material, and you can start doing all that. Or once you register, then you can even use a login button to access the training material. And the other one is once you click on register or login, the next page is this page. So on that page, on the next page, that is sign in pages. It is a sign in pages. What you do is that you need to write your institutional email here. It's not your personal email. Sometimes it may ask you twice. Like some, the second, when it asks you for the second time, it says write your email or your phone or your Skype. It may say like that. Therefore, you need to write your institution, not your personal email, but your institutional email. You need to write only your institutional email. You don't need to, you cannot use your personal email, or you cannot access this training material by using your personal email. Rather, you have to use your institutional email. This is my institutional email. Actually, I got this email from Arizona, from Ministry of Education. That's why it says Ethernet, but in your case, it says Ethiopia Civil Service University here. So you need to make sure that you write your institutional email here, not your personal email, not your phone number, not your Skype number. Sometimes it says write your phone, your Skype, or your email. So when we say email, your email is your institutional email, not your personal email. And the other one is go to the course page once. Now, if you click on these things, and if you click on sign in, it may ask you your password. You need to write your password, your institutional email password that you got from the ICT staff, or that you change, the password. Sometimes it may automatically ask you to change your password, whatever it is. Then you need to write your institutional email's password, and then you will get these pages. So this is go to the course page. So in order to start, maybe if you have registered already, but if you didn't complete the training in the previous rounds, you may have like 2 or 3 type of course folders. Therefore, in order to access this group's course folder, which is active, you need to click like masterclass, Ethiopia Civil Service University, final call. Make sure that you read these things, final call. If you see here, masterclass August 2024, and the others also like masterclass 6th round, 5th round, it say like that. But you need to, for this one, for this group, you need to click on masterclass ECSU final calls, and then you need to click on go to the course. So if once you see these things, just click to go to the course in order to go to the course. So you need to follow these procedures. Then once you click on go to the course, this is the first page of the training or this training. So you need to see like course. There are different buttons at the top, by the way. It's very important button. On the course page, you see the first page of the training. So that in order to start the training, you can click these pages. It says like the start on the welcome, start here, modules. It says like this. So that if you click on these links, then it will take you to the first page of the training. This is a kind of cover page. Let's say it is a kind of cover page. So that if you click on this one, it will take you to the first page of the training. Therefore, on the course button, you can see these pages. And if you click on these places or these links, it will lead you to the first page. And the other button is progress button. This is also very important button. You see there are basic information that is very important. Like for example, this is like course completion percentage. It helps you to know how much course content that you have completed. So that is also very basic. It's not a mandatory thing to get certificate, of course, but it is very important. It guides you, how much content of the training that you have completed. Therefore, it's very important. Sometimes if you just focus only on the training, on the assignment part, on the graded activity parts, this one is low. And therefore, a facilitator can know whether you see all the content of the training or not. But it is not like a criteria to get certificate. What is criteria to get certificate is your grade. So your grade must be greater than 80. If it is less than 80, you cannot get certificate. That means you are not qualified, or like it's kind of incomplete. Therefore, you need to do graded activity very seriously. And if you have, by the way, you can try 3 times. If you miss 1 time each graded activities or exercise, then you can do it 3 times. It gives you an opportunity to do it even 5 times, not 3 times, even 5 times, I think. But most of the time it is 3 times, but sometimes it says like 5 times. I'm not sure, but it is more 3 or more than 3. Therefore, it's not that much a big deal. But before you try it, try to like see if you miss one, then try to go back to the content, see the things, and then do it. Very simple. Unless you are maybe confused. If you are confused how to do the exercise, you can contact me, or you can contact your communities. You can post it on community forum, and the other member will respond. The next button is discussion button. As I told you, there are different assignments that you need to engage yourselves. That is, of course, the purpose is to promote student-to-student interaction. One is called as ongoing community forum. The other one is the mediest point. The other one is student-to-student interaction. And the other one is problem solution. There are 4 activities that's designed in this training to promote your engagement, your participation. And the system actually track whether you engaged yourself in this activity or not. It is not graded for that matter, but especially on this one, course content completion percentage, it will count. It will see whether you respond for the comment, whether you post some kind of question, whether you participate in a student-to-student interaction, whether you shared your mediest point or not. Therefore, the system track you. There is no, the facilitator, maybe it is a little bit difficult for the facilitator to see whether each and everyone participate or not, but the system itself do that task. And another button is pre-recorded video. As I already shared you, we have recorded videos, so you can get it from here as well. Just click on pre-recorded video, you can get many pre-recorded video. Even today's session is on record, so that after I complete it, I will share with you on the same on these things. I will paste it here, and then those who missed this class or this online session can follow our record. And the other one is the facilitator. The main facilitator for this training is me, and there is support. When we say supporting here, it means like if I have some kind of difficult things, I can contact her. Her name is Kim Welch, and she's from Arizona State University. And like most of the tasks should be led by or managed by me. But if I have any kind of difficulty, I can contact her. Therefore, it is supporting facilitator in a sense like supervisor. It is my supervisor, things like that. So if I have any kind of difficulties, I can contact her. Otherwise, I can do it myself. And so this is all about the basic information about this training. It's a little bit, I take a little bit time, but let's briefly, maybe 20 minutes, about the thing that we are going to see in module 1, in week 1. Briefly, I will not take that much time now. So objective of this training, as I already mentioned, experience and interpret online learning from the student perspective. And second one is design alignment and standard-driven content for online course instruction. So these are the 2 objectives that we need to achieve at the end of this training. At the end of this training, I believe that you experience online learning from the student perspective, whether online learning is good or not, whether our student is going to enjoy it or they are going to like hate it or things like that. So you are going to experience by yourself first, then you will be a witness for that. And the other one is design alignment and standard driven content for online course instruction. You know that we have even designing online content is one of a plan that we need to do in this year, in this year, of course. So with Ministry of Education's like direct or give us key performance indicator. On that key performance indicator, doing like delivering courses online is mandatory things, and it is also one of indicator for like having to have like good institution. That is also we have to give especially to increase our accessibility, not only face-to-face, even we have to deliver courses and program online. Therefore, we need to, in the next weeks or in the next semester, we are going to engage in that activities like designing alignment and standard-driven content for online course instruction, at least for 1 courses, according to our plan. Therefore, we need to have that skill, and this training is going to give us that skill. It is a very interesting intervention at this time for you especially. And the other one is community forum discussion. For other thing that we are going to experience is a community forum. When we say community forum, it is one of the strategy we use to build a community in online environment or in online classes. As you see here, this picture, there are a lot of people around. They are doing a community. They are communicating with each other. That is online. If it is face to face, building a community is not a big deal. But for online classes, there are a lot of strategy, like for example, community forum, that help us to build a feeling of community among our students. So we are going to explain that thing. It has advantage for instructor as well as for students. I think it is very like a common advantage. It is very easy or well-known things. So let's jump that part. Another thing is time management tips. You know, this training, as I told you, is not very big deal. They are very simple. What is matter is, you know, time. Time is very important. Deadline is very important. Therefore, you need to watch the time. Like for example, if item says say read or watch, sometimes those are mandatory things. So you need to read it, you need to watch it. But if it say optionally browse, if you want to explore more, you can click on this PDF, you can watch this video, things like that. If you say like that, you don't need to take your time, because like to manage your, if you are busy and if you you don't have that much time to engage yourself, you can leave it, but because it is optional now. And the other one is, if something is credit bearing, it will say graded. So if it say graded activity, you need to do it very seriously, because in order to get certificate, you need to score 80 or more than 80, right? Therefore, graded, you need to give attention for graded activity. For example, syllabus cues. This is one of, it is the first graded activity, syllabus cues. So you need to download. I have already shared the syllabus for you. If you want, I will share it again. And if you can access it from the training material, it's here. If you click on these links, you can easily download syllabus. Then once you read that syllabus, then you can like do these syllabus quizzes. So that is also very basic things. And the other one is, there is also another ungraded activities that you will see in the training materials. We call it problem anticipated. What you are going to do is that share some of the struggle you anticipate as you consider adding more digital learning into your classroom, or as you consider teaching online courses. That means, if you start online classes, what type of problem you expect that you will face, or your student will face? What thing that may be difficult for you or a challenge for you? This is some kind of brainstorming. So you are going to tell us the challenge that you may anticipate if you start online classes or online courses, or if you start building digital content. Therefore, that is very simple. Actually, it is ungraded, but you need to do that. So what you do is that the problem anticipated page or the exercise page look like this. And it says, as you move to creating more e-learning content and assessments, consider a problem you might have in the following categories. There are categories here. So choose the category first and then describe the anticipated problem. And then submit these forms twice. Therefore, you are going to share us 2 anticipated problem if you start online classes. What you do is very simple. You click on these places. This is not here, as I told maybe. This is screenshots. So everything must be done in the system. As I told you, there is someone who follow us, who also help us if we need. Like from Ministry of Education, Dr. Mulene, from Arizona State University, we have Professor Kim. And there are also others who check us, who follow us, what we are doing. Therefore, everything must be done on the system. Therefore, if you click these places in the system, then you see 3 type of categories. Therefore, you are going to select 2 categories, and then 1 category first, then write that the detail of the problem that you anticipate here, and then submit. You need to do it twice, then you have to select another categories and write the problem in detail here. So this is the problem that you anticipate, that you may expect if you start online classes. Another very important task is, this is Tiny self-introduction. You know what? It is one of the strategy that we use to build a community. It is the place that we introduce ourselves, and then it gives us an opportunity to know each other. So we build a community, that means. So what you do is that you need to introduce yourself by doing the following. Use plus sign here on the page, on the training page, you see a plus sign around. If you click that plus sign, this pop-up window will come. Then what you do, sign in the lower part of the page to add your name, click on this plus sign, and then you need to add your name. That is your nickname, initial, if you prefer. Your institution, that is very important. When you introduce yourself, you need to follow this instruction. You need to add your institution, your field of studies, like your education backgrounds, and other things we should know about you. For example, your hobbies, your favorite foods, your online teaching and learning experience is also another very important. So at least this is the minimum. So I recommend you to go for detail, because it is a good opportunity for us to know each other, right? Like for example, if we know from our member, if someone, like once you read someone's self-introduction practice, and then if you are interested to work with that person, like you can communicate, we can communicate each other. Therefore, doing a detailed self-introduction is what we can recommend. And then the other task is welcome to other member by commenting on their posts. Not only introduce yourself, but also you need to comment on at least 2%. That is, it is a kind of instruction that, or a kind of guiding question that help you or promote you to engage on like a student to student interaction or trainees to trainee interaction. So you need to say comment at least on 2%. That means whatever comment you want. Like you can say welcome to this training. I'm happy, or it is my pleasure to have to see you here, or whatever comment you have, you can comment him. And so but you need to comment, because in the next pages you are going to tell us the name of the 2% for whom you write a comment. Because if you write a comment for me, for example, Dr. Abebe, for example, if Dr. Abebe write a comment on my self-introduction, so he is going to write my name, Dr. Orkan. He have to say like that. And if you write for another person, so it's not your name that you are going to write on these places. Welcome to other person. Once you welcome them, then you need to write the name of that person. I will show you that places, of course. And so once you click on this plus sign, you see this window. Here is the subject. You need to write the subject, whatever subject you give. Like you can say self-introduction for Workene, for example. That is if you are like Workene. And then you can add your picture as well here. If you want to add your picture, click on these things and then get your picture from your computer, and it will be here, or it will be visible on your Padlet self-introduction. And then you need to write your self-introduction in detail on these things, on the third part, these places. And look, once you write that things, you need to copy that thing. I recommend you to copy once, but the last step is, of course, publish. Once you write these things, this button will be active. Then once you click on publish, it will be published. It will be visible for the community. But before you click on publish, I recommend you to copy it, because it's very important. You are going to use it on the next pages. Just don't forget to copy what you write here. It's very important task things. Otherwise, sometimes you need to rewrite it twice, in order to save your time. Once you write it, once you finish that things, even you can write in other place on Word document, and then save on your computer, and then paste it here, and then publish it, and then again for the next tasks, you can get it from your Word document. Your Padlet introduction look like this. These are, by the way, the first group of masterclass trainees at Ethiopia Civil Service University. These are the first group. Like you see, Academic Vice President Dr. Lamma is here, and there are also other staff members. And this is me. It looks like I try to put my self-introduction as detailed as possible, because if you are interested to work with me, I'm available, right? You can read these things. If you like my profile, you can even, like, sometimes even in the institution that I have completed my study, we shared them our CV for our professors, and then if they are interested, it is available on their system, and then they can contact us. So I think we need to expand this thing as well, or we need to do such type of things. But But this platform is one of the platform that we can use to learn to know each other, right? I do it as detailed as possible in order to like promote myself or to sell myself. And then here it is the place that like you need to copy that things, your self introduction, and this one is for public. This one is for public. Everyone can see it. But here on the next page, it is for grading. This is for grading purpose. It has 10 points, by the way. Publish your introduction has 10 points. This is 5 points. This is 6 points. This is 4 points.
Dr. Workani,
Yes,
sorry.
Yes, please.
I kindly ask Dr. Ujulu to switch off his mic.
Okay,
His
Dr.
mic is
Ujulu,
disturbing
please.
us. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I will.
Okay. Okay, let's continue. So as you see here, this is self-introduction, so that you need to introduce yourself. Right, once you have already posted it here, but before you post it here, as I told you, you need to copy it. That is good. Once you copy it, then you need to paste it here. This is for grading purpose. This is for your community. It helps you. It is for everyone in the groups, and it helps us to know each other. Everyone can see it, or the member of this group can see it. But here, this is for grading purpose, and it will be shown only for the facilitator of this training, and therefore you need to copy that thing before you publish it. Or if you write yourself, even Dr. Julu, for example, you paste your self-introduction on Telegram. That is not the way. You need to do it on the system. As I told you, if you want to submit your grade, you have to do it only on the systems, or we cannot submit grades or on like Telegram or on email or things like that. Everything must be done on the system. Therefore, you need to paste it here first. You need to do it here, and then you need to do it here on these pages. But if you have any difficulty, please don't hesitate to contact me. And the other one is the second question is like in the text box below, write the name of the two individuals for whom you left a comment. Right here. In the previous time, it asks you to write to welcome two other members by commenting on their posts. So you need to comment on 2 persons in your groups. Then maybe you can comment on me, or maybe you can comment on the other persons. And then what you do is that on these places, you are going to write the name of that people's or that person's. It's not your name, rather the name of the person for whom you left a comment. So you are going to write it here. And another one is course module. The next module is about course content and the course quality. Here we are going to see the following learning objective in this module. The first one is analyze the individual need for standard-driven and objective-based course design. And the second one is design a lesson for a course that demonstrates instructional alignment using a measurable learning objective, supporting material, and an assessment. The third objective of this module is contribute to the learning community. And the fourth one is demonstrate a proficient OpenEDX learning management system navigation from the student perspective. So this is the learning outcome or the learning objective of these modules. So this is module 1. Of course, like one of the things that we are going to see is about quality matters. You know, quality matters. Quality matters is a program that certifies the quality of online and blended courses through a faculty-centered peer review process. When we design online courses, we need to make sure that we develop or we design quality courses. And in order to do that things, we need to use quality matter. So quality matter is the platforms that help us to check whether we design a course content to the standard that is to the required standards. So this is one of the mechanisms that we check whether the course content we develop actually fulfill the criteria or the quality that we are looking for. Of course, if you see our e-learning policy, one of the tools that we use in order to ensure that that online content actually fit the standard is by using quality matter. So we are going to explain what quality matters in practice. So quality matter is a rubric based peer review system used to make sure courses are designed at a specific standard. So it is a rubric based peer review system that we use in order to check or in order to validate the quality of the courses that we are going to teach online. So that is a very important tools that we use, when we think about designing as well as delivering online content. It has general standards. These quality matters. The general standard of this quality matter are 8 in numbers. These are 8, like course overview and introduction, learning objective, assessment and measurement, instructional material, course activity and learner interaction, course technology, learner support, and accessibility and usability. So they are 8 in numbers, and we call this general standard of the quality matter. They have also a specific standard or sub-standards or specific criteria that we use them to measure whether each general standard fulfilled or not. For example, if you see here, for course overview and introduction, there are 9 specific review standards. So we can call it a checklist. So in order to check whether that online course content or that online course that we designed, actually, especially for this specific parts, course overview and the introduction part, in order to evaluate whether that course overview and the introduction part is actually meets the standards, we can use these checklists. So these are the checklists we use in order to check this one, course overview and introduction. And it has also a weight. Each of them, this specific review standard has weights. So we are going to evaluate, for example, 1.1, instructions make clear how to get started and where to find various course components. So the maximum point we can give is 3. So we that professional reviewer is going to give 2, 3, or 1. It depends on his judgment or his professional judgment. So we are going to use these specific review standards in order to do for this one. For the other one, we are going to follow the same things. In number, the specific review standard are 42. So we are going to use that 42 specific review standards in order to evaluate all these 8 general standards. So this is one way that we ensure the quality of the course that we design to give it online, and this is also accepted by Ministry of Education. So we are going to use it when we think about designing online courses. So this is the task that we are going to do in the next semester, or just we are on it now. And the other one is learning objective. This is also very basic things. Of course, we know what learning objective is. It is a statement that helps us to answer this question. What do I want students to know and be able to do upon the completion of these courses? Or why am I here? It helps us to answer this question. Why am I here? Why am I in the classes? Or why the students are in the classes? So learning objective is the thing that we want our student needs to know or needs to learn. It may be the knowledge, it may be the skill, it may be the attitude that we want to share with our student. And we need to have a smart learning objective. That is very basic things. When we design online classes, make sure that we are developing a smart learning objective. So this training is going to teach us what a smart learning objective is. So how we build it, that smart learning objective. This is the Bloom's taxonomy. This is one of the guiding tools that we can use to develop a smart learning objective. This is a learning knowledge category that we want to share with our student. Some of the knowledge that we want to share with our student is a kind of remembering things. Some of them are a kind of understanding things. Some of the knowledge that we want our student needs to learn is a kind of applying, maybe a kind of analyzing, maybe a kind of evaluating, maybe a kind of creating things. So this is the learning knowledge. It is a kind of knowledge category that we can share. Of course, that all the knowledge categorized in these 6 categories. Some of them are basic, understanding, remembering. These are basic knowledge, very we can say it needs lower order thinking. It needs lower order. It's not that much advanced. In the middle, analyze and apply, kind of medium order thinking, or just kind of medium knowledges. The other one is evaluating and creating. It needs higher order thinking. They are advanced knowledge that we want to share with our student. Therefore, depending on the type of knowledge that we want to share with our student, the action verb we need to use is different. For example, if you want to share some kind of remembering kind of knowledge with our student, you need to use a kind of recall, locate, retrieve, collect, define, or label, or others related action verbs. This action verb, what makes them unique is that these action verbs are actually measurable, right? So that we need to use action verbs depending on the type of knowledge that we want to share with ours. These are all the type of knowledge. Some of them are basic, some of them are advanced. Therefore, we need to use this action verb. If we use these action verbs, then our objective is measurable, smart, simply, it is very specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bounded. So one of the criteria that we need to follow to create a smart learning objective is using this action. This is very basic thing. There is also an activity that we can give for our students in order to achieve that thing. For creating things, we can use these activities. Of course, the list is not the end because these are examples. These are only some of them. You can get many of them from different websites. By the way, on the training, there is an application that helps you to develop a smart learning objective. That application is owned by Arizona State University and accessible in this training. Therefore, we can use that application in order to develop a smart learning objective. Therefore, even I can we can review our courses, whether they are smart or not, and even we can judge them. Once we read these things, we can judge whether our learning objective is smart or not. And if it is not smart, we can revise them. That is good. Therefore, we can use application, or even on that application, on that website, you can see a list of, this is only 6, right? For example, for this one, but a list of action verbs that we can use in order to develop a learning objective for a kind of knowledge which is related to remembering. And the other one is writing measurable learning objective. So when we start designing online courses, we need to start from the end. That means most of the time, what is important is we need to start from the end. That means what we call this thing is backward design. What is backward design is that we need to start first by writing our learning objective. So we need to start by writing our learning objective. So once we write learning objective, the next task is, in order to achieve this learning objective, what type of material I need. Then we are going to list a kind of material, a kind of activities, a kind of things, learning activity that we are going to give for our student, whether it is group activity, reading material, video to watch, whatever it is. That is the next one. The third one is, in order to measure whether my student acquire the knowledge that the learning objective that I state, then I have to develop assessments. Therefore, we need to start from the end. The end is the goal, the end goal. The end is the objective. Therefore, we need to start by writing our learning objective. Once we write our learning objective, the next task is what type of material I need to have in order to share this knowledge with my student. Then the third one is how I can check whether my student acquire or capture that knowledge or not. Therefore, we need to follow this. This training actually recommend us to follow backward design. You don't need to start from otherwise it's not go well. If we start from the material, then what type of material? This is kind of mixed. Therefore, the other one is, let's move on it because to save our time. The other one is when we design online classes, make sure that these 3 things are actually aligned together. That is also very important. Learning goal, teaching in the learning activity, and assessment. These are very important. We need to make sure that these things are aligned, or these things are input for each other. Learning objective, then the material that we have is the kind of intervention that we are going to give for our student to learn what we stated, and then how we are going to evaluate. Those things, these 3 things must align. That's why one of the learning objective of this training is designing standard aligned and standard driven learning content. So we need to learn these things, aligned course content is very important. So when we develop online courses, we need to make sure that these 3 things is aligned. That is very important. And the third one is module level outcome. Example, let's see some of smart learning objective at the module level, at the course level. That means, for example, this original version, understand the American criminal justice system. This is not smart because understand, for example, here, this is the Bloom's taxonomy. Understanding is a knowledge category, but it is not an action verb. We can't get the word understand in the list. Describe, classify, summarize here. Even if you see the other lists, you can't get the word understand. The reason is because understanding of someone can't be measured. It's not smart. That means it is not measurable. You cannot measure the level of my understanding. It's very hard to measure it. In order to measure the level of understanding of your student, like you can say, for example, describe the history of the American criminal justice system. Now, understand is not the appropriate words or action verb, but describe is measurable. Once you state these things, then you can ask whether your student can describe this thing or not. So describing is measurable. You can measure it, you can check it, you can evaluate it, but level of understanding is difficult. Therefore, understand is not appropriate action verbs. The other one is describe and create a social media plan for your organization. Now, the other very common problem that we make is like, for example, describe is yes, of course, measurable. Create is also measurable, but we connect two action verbs in one learning objective. That is inappropriate. That's one thing. And the other thing is describe is actually, if you see here, describe is here. It is a kind of understanding type of knowledge, but create is a kind of creating. This one is lower order thinking, this one is higher order thinking. Therefore, in terms of their levels, even they are not in the same level. So they are not like, and actually connect apple for apple, things like that, like balanced things. But they are here, describe and create, they are not balanced, they are not in the same. They require, this one require lower order thinking, the other one require higher order thinking. Therefore, they are not apple for apple. They are not like balanced. Therefore, we cannot connect with ends the other way. But in generally, when we state action verb, we need to make it specific. Like that is very important. Only one action verb is, so that it will be measurable. This is chapter level. Let's jump this part to make it very to save our time. Here is the last assignment at the end of our week 1. It's a course content alignment worksheet. So there are 4 questions. Question number 1 says, write one measurable learning objective for a lesson or a module. So for the course you teach, not for this training for that matter, for the course you teach, write one measurable learning objective. It must be, now we are going to apply what we have seen previously. So we are going to, it must be smart. So we are going to pick one action verb from there. Then name the Bloom's revised taxonomy level addressed in your objective. Now, depending on the depending on the action verb you select, you need to tell us what type of knowledge that you are going to share with your student. Is it remembering things? Is it understanding things? Is it analyzing things? Is it evaluating things? Or is it creating things? Therefore, you are going to tell us on the second question, knowledge. There are 6 knowledge categories as you see here. Which knowledge categories that you are going to share with your student? Is it remembering? It depends on what? It depends on the action verbs that you used in your statement, on your learning objective that you stated it here. So you are going to tell us on the second question, you need to tell us the type of knowledge that you are going to share with your student. The third one is identify supporting learning material. It may be reading. Now, what is the point is, we have different learning styles. Some of us prefer learn from reading. Some of us prefer from watching. Some of us learn from lecture things. Some of us we prefer or we learn by simulation, graphics, and things like that. Therefore, when you develop online content, make sure that you have different supportive learning material. That is very important. If you say, for example, to achieve this learning objective, read this book, that is not fine. That's not enough. Because some of us prefer reading now, because most of the task is going to be done by students themselves, right? One thing. The other is like, because they need to manage these online classes, we have different way to manage them, of course, or to teach them, to deliver what we are going to teach, but most of the tasks, they are going to do it anyway. Therefore, like having different learning material, supportive learning material is mandatory. If you state only one, then you are going to miss some point. You need to have reading material, video, audio, lectures, PPT, readers, whatever it is. Then step 4, design or describe an assessment to measure achievement of your learning objectives. Then what the next is, in order to we have this objective, in order to check whether your student achieve it or not, you need to have some kind of assessments, right? It may be multiple question, or it may be matching, it may be midterm exam, it may be project assignment, it may be group works, it may be presentation, it may be whatever it is. Therefore, you are going to tell us what type of assessment that you are going to use in order to measure your learning objective. If, for example, your learning objective is kind of creating things, you ask them to create something, then if you ask, in order to check that things, if you ask them true, false, or multiple question, that is not good, because the objective is they are going to create something. Then the way you are going to check whether they can create it or not is not by multiple type question, or is not by matching type question, it's not by true false type question. Rather, you have to ask them a project things, and then they are going to bring it, and they are going to display it, they are going to present it. So they need to do that things. So that's what we call it alignment. So your learning objective, your intervention, as well as your assessment must be aligned. That is what we are going to check. Example, let's give you one example. It is on the material, of course. One of the objective is identify the 7 steps of research process. Now, action verb is identify. So identify the kind of what type of knowledge it is. You can go here, identify is like here, it is identify, this is an action verb, identify here. So the type of knowledge I want to share with my student is a kind of understanding. So the second question is Bloom's taxonomy level or categories, understanding. Therefore, they are going to understand. So the action verb I need to use is identify. Depending on the action verb I used, I can know what type of knowledge I want to share with them. And supporting material, learning material, short instructor video, infographics, video tutorial, and you see there are many numbers. So that these are some of them, of course. Therefore, you need to do the list. It's very important. So variety is very important. You need to mix. Not only read something that they can read, not only like journal. If journal is reading, books is reading, textbooks is reading, PPT is reading, but video, but infographics, but simulation, those things, we need to make a variety. And an assessment approach, draft an outline for a research paper due in week 7, in which a student identify each of the 7 steps of the research process. So this is the assessment that I proposed in order to measure or to check whether my student can do these tasks or not. And the last point is, this is not graded, of course, the mediest point discussion. Here what you are going to do is that you are going to tell us your mediest point. Your mediest point, in a sense, something which is not clear for you so far. We have seen like 3 modules. So at the end of week 1, at the end of next week today, we have seen like 3 modules. At least we have to do that, at least 3 modules. And then in that module, what is the challenge that you encountered? What is the mediest point, which is not clear for you? Then these things help for the designer of this training to make some kind of improvement on these workshops. So this is all my presentation. Now the next session is, maybe if you have any questions or something which is not clear, we can raise it here and we can discuss on it. It's like kind of little bit long presentation. I always say like I need to make it like 3 or 30 minutes, 20 minutes, but because I have seen like the content, that things take my time. So I do apologize for that because I take your time. But now let's give you a chance to like ask a question, comment, suggestion. If there is something which is not clear for you, we can raise. By the way, you can even come in my office, or you can, as I told you, we can arrange live Google meeting if you are not around. But even you can call me, I can come to your office and show you if you have any kind of difficulty on how to log in, how to start, and things like that. Yeah, Degela.
Yeah, I'm Degela.
Yeah, Degela.
This is just to express my words of thanks for the good pedagogy. And of course, the presentation is so fine, though it's very much detailed.
Yeah.
So my question is, can this link avail as an opportunity for other resources, educational resources? I mean, besides these online training materials, can we access any other academic resources?
Okay. Yeah, actually, this training is like, it has own objective. The objective of this training are two, as I already mentioned. You are going to expand what online learning, online teaching look like. You are going to see from the student perspective, and there is also another training. The next training is it help you to know how to build courses in OpenEDX learning management system, because we are going to deliver courses in OpenEDX learning management system. Therefore, we need to have that skill, that knowledge. So we are experiencing online learning now from the student perspective. In next training, we are going to experience it from the teacher perspective. That means when we are teacher, we have a privilege to manage it. We have a privilege to upload documents. We have a privilege to grade it and things like that. Therefore, the objective of this training is this thing. Even we need to develop the skill that help us to design and design, develop, and deliver courses online. So the objective of this training is like to achieve these two objectives. But like we have also another training, as I told you, we have the next training. That training is technical. This one is pedagogical. So we are going to learn some pedagogical knowledge that help us to do things online, right? That is basic things. To deliver courses, first we need to know how to deliver it, right? There are a lot of technologies that we need to use to promote online communication among with the student and the teacher and those things. So we need to be familiar with that things, and this training is going to teach us these things. But other resource, yeah, of course, there are in the training material, there are some guiding videos, links that help you to access open educational resources. Even I don't have any idea about that open educational resources before I take this training. But once I on that training, I got the information about these open resources, open educational resources. But as I told you, there are a lot of information. There are a lot of links that help you to build your knowledge. But the objective of this training, or the objective of this training, is just to help us to acquire that two knowledges or that two objective. But in all the process, there are a lot of material that help us to build our even to get another resources, another information, or another knowledges.
Thank you so much, Dr. Workin.
Okay,
Thank you so
thank you very
much.
much. Dr. Tadios.
Okay, thank you very much for your brief presentation, Dr. Workana.
Okay, thank you.
I have very few points. The first one is at the beginning you said that we would attach our assignment on Telegram account, but later you said that you can only use your institutional email, otherwise you will face difficulty. So I ask this question because I have some problem on an institutional email. So should I activate, or should I just use a Telegram account to upload the assignment? That is the first question. The second question is, I hope some of us may be in a very busy schedule, but is this tight schedule and it cannot be adjusted, or is there a possibility to adjust this schedule? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Tadios. Even we are really happy to have you with us. We know that you are, the busiest man in this university. Of course, to submit your assignment, even to attend this training, you need to have your institutional email. You need to have a password of your institutional email, and you need to have your institutional email. You cannot submit assignment on Telegram. Because as I told you, there is someone who follow us, who monitor us, who check us whether we are doing on the way or not, whether we are on the track or not, and therefore we need to do everything on the system. Even as I told you, like for example, if I show you like let's start, like in order to start this training, the first task you need to do is like you need to start from this link. Click here. You need all of you need to click here. Then you need to get these links. Click on that links. Then it will take you to these pages. Like for example, let's see it. Like you see register and login. So if it is your first time, you need to click on register. Then you need to click on this agree, and then you need to say start. So when you click on start, it asks me like my institution. You cannot use your personal email. You cannot use another email. So it must be institutional email. For example, this is my institutional email. Let's say this is my institution. Let's use this one. So you need to write your institutional email here. Then what you do is that you need to click on sign in. And then it may ask you your password, right? It will ask you your password here. So sometimes, as I told you, it may ask you this institutional email twice. For example, now it's asking me to select my institutional email twice. So let's select my institutional email from the list. Maybe this one is my institutional email. Let's use this one. So you need to, like, we have to pass through all these steps in order to access the training material. So this is my password. It's already saved here. So let's click on it. I think, yeah, I just, because this is my computer, even like I forgot my password. Commonly, I just log in on this one. So like, for example, like for example, let's see, use this one. This is a new internet browser. That's why it's asking me my password. If I use this one, it will not ask me my password. So like this is the training link. I already put, that training link here. I need to click on that things. And then this is like the first page of the training. Like for example, as I mentioned, I need to click on register. I need to agree with these terms of reference. I need to click on start. Then I need to write my institutional email here. So this is my institutional email. Then I need to click on sign in. You see, you need to pass all these steps. So you need to configure. That means once you configure that, you are the right person to attend this training. So that is mandatory tasks. You need to pass all these steps. So in order to pass all these steps, you need to have your institutional email. You need to have your password. That is mandatory things. That is the basic, the first requirement to attend this training. Therefore, institutional email and the password are mandatory, and you need to, in case if you have a problem on your institutional email, you need to contact our ICT staff, and then they can reset the password. And then once you get the password, you need to pass through these all steps. But because you are busy and I can help you a little bit, like for example, once you have your institutional email and the password, maybe we can talk on phone, and then I can help you, given you are also another assignment. And the other one is a schedule. This schedule is it is for 2 weeks. Maybe we can add one more week. It is commonly we do that. So we can add one more week. So, we have to finish by December 9. That is we scheduled to finish or to complete this training by December 9. But we can add one more week after. Of course, this thing must be kind of secret, but let's say, share you. More probably I will add one more week, so that that is mandatory, we need to complete it by December 17th. As I told you, the training is 2-week training. It is designed in that ways. And as I already informed, there is someone who watch us, therefore check us, whether we keep or we are doing according to the schedule or not. But even in the previous training, commonly we add one more week. So I can add one more week, and then we need to complete by December 17th. So as I told you, still, if you have some kind of problem, I will further help you. I will assist you on this training.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question also.
Dr. Ojolo, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Warkane, for your very good presentation and very brief presentation as well. You see my organizational email or institutional email is not operational. So how can you help me? Just similar question with
Yeah, you know,
Dr. Fabio.
I don't have a privilege to change the password or to reset the password of our institutional email. That is the task that should be done by our ICT staff. Therefore, you need to contact specifically in person. You can contact Meron from the ICT staff. I can maybe it's personal. Maybe I can share you her phone number so that, or her office is just in the training building, on the first floor, on the ground floor. So you can contact Meron and she can reset. On this thing, she's really cooperative. So you can easily contact her. If you don't have institutional email, you can get it easily. If you have a problem with password, you can get it easily. And even you can get these things or this service on phone. Therefore, if you need, I can share her phone, or even it doesn't matter because it is for work reason. So I can share on the Telegram her phone number. And if you have any problem with your institutional email, so you need to go through her. So you need to contact her.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. So if you have any question, comment, suggestions on the way we need to follow to access these training materials, whatever which is not clear for you, you can raise and we can discuss on it. Otherwise, as I told you, this video is on record, or this communication is on record, or this meeting is on record. Therefore, I will share you that record material video so that you can watch it again. If you missed all this part of the meeting, also you can watch it again and you can get what the information that you need to acquire. So we can stop here if you don't have any question, comment, or suggestion. Tafara.
No, I don't have any question.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. ስለመጣችሁ በጣም ነው የማመሰግነው። ችግር ካለ እዚህም ላይብረሪ ስታፍም ስላሉ ላይብረሪ ስታፎች ችግር ካለ ኢንፐርሰን መታችሁ ልታናገሩኝ ትችላላችሁ። ኦንላይንም ስኬጁል አድርግላችሁ እችላለሁ ለሌሎቻችሁ። ችግር ዶክተር ታዲዮስን ደግሞ በስፔሻል ኬዝ እንረዳዋለን። ሶ ቴንክ ዩ ቬሪ ማች ስለመጣችሁ በጣም ነው የማመሰግነው።
እሺ እናመሰግናለን።
እናመሰግናለን።
እሺ